Amazing, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining PCGamesN's first ever AMA. I'm here with the guys from Sunderfolk, very exciting. I've got studio head Chris Shigady sitting there on the left-hand side for you guys, potentially the right. And then I've got Alan DeBerry, who is the technical director on Sunderfolk. So we're going to be showing off the 1.5 update today. We're going to be playing a couple of one-shots, maybe just the one, depending on how many questions you guys have. And yeah, we're going to be going from there. If you don't know me, my name is Lauren. I'm the news editor over at PC Games, and you've probably seen me lurking in several of the chats, largely the general one, where I probably talk about my obsessions with League of Legends, Vampire the Masquerade, and probably Vampire the Masquerade all over again, let's be honest. That's kind of just what I do. So, to you two then, do you want to talk a little bit about what Sunderfolk is, what it looks like, the game's life cycle, where we're at just now?
Yeah, so thanks so much for having us. I'm Chris, if that wasn't clear, waving in there. And we're excited to be talking about our 1.5 patch, which just came out a couple weeks ago. Before I jump into the specifics of 1.5, just to talk a little bit about Sunderfolk. Sunderfolk is a tactical RPG game that's brought to life on the largest, ideally, on the largest screen you can find in your home, and then controlled with the phone in your pocket. And the goal here was to create experiences that could bring people into what we think is a wonderful hobby with board games and TTRPG games, experiences like that in a way that was more accessible, or as accessible as we could possibly make it. So at this time, the game requires a phone as a controller. And what is special about the 1.5 patch is initially when the game launched, we launched back in April of this year, there was a campaign-only mode. So the entire game was really you starting a campaign with your friends and playing through very much like you would a Dungeons & Dragons game or any other TTRPG game, long form. It's, depending on how your group plays, 20 to 30 hour campaign. One of the things we got as feedback from people was like, well, sometimes I just have a group of friends over and I just want to play for that evening. I don't know that they need to get into the big story around a campaign. And so getting into the 1.5 patch at this point, the big thing we've added is this thing called one-shot mode. And so what you haven't seen if you just joined us is how you get into Sunderfolk. Right before this step, there's a step where there's a QR code up on the screen. You take out your phone, you scan it. If you don't have the Sunderfolk app, it will take you to the appropriate store on your Apple iPhone or on your on your Android phone. And it will take you to the store. That's a free app. You download that app. It's fairly small in size, and then it will get you into that session, into the game. So we've already done that step. The three of us are in there, and we're at the main menu now. And so I am the party leader, and so I have the controls currently. The first person that joins is the party leader, and I'm going to go into one-shot mode here to start us into the session of picking what we want to do here. So unlike the campaign, we get dropped in. The first decision we have to make will pop up here in a moment, and that is, what is the challenge rating we want to play our missions for this evening? Or we can always back out of here, but for this next step. And so, Lauren, I'm going to hand it off to you and say, where do you want? Oh, wow.
Come on.
Wow. I mean that.
Are we
wow.
serious?
Okay. Are we
No,
going?
no,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's terrifying. Like, okay. I mean, I respect that you think I'm that good at games. Thanks. Cool. Let's go with challenging. I can do challenging. I accept challenging.
All right. So now that we've all aligned on that, we get a ready up button on the phone, and we're just readying up to get started.
Thank you to the people in the chat that say they believe in me. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
So now we're at character selection, and you can select, and we can back out to the stage at any time if you want. But let's go with you pick first for sure, Lauren. Alan and I have definitely played a lot of different classes in our playtesting over time.
Look, you know me, and I've already said that I would like to play Bard because that's what I do, but do you know what? We're mixing it up, we're doing weird things. I'm going to try Pyromancer. I've never tried Pyromancer in my life, so let's try Pyromancer, and we'll see what
let's do it.
See what happens.
And Alan, you got any preferences here?
I could either do Arcanist or Berserker. What are you thinking?
Why don't you do Arcanist this time? And I'll go Berserker. We got enough DPS between our casters, I hope. All right. And just so that people know who we are on the board, I'm going to name myself after what we appear in Discord chat. So, all right.
Perfect.
So next up is picking our adventure. And so we all see on our phones the entire campaign, whether you've played through or not. You can get to any of those. But the other thing we launched in 1.5 is 4 new missions that haven't been seen by players. And so we click into that, and I think we should just start at the top.
Yeah.
And we can give people a little sneak preview of playing the missions. And once we're in and aligned, we go to gear out. And so this is the other thing. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because it could take up a lot of playtime. But you have your skill cards as well as your fate deck and an appropriate trinkets that you would have collected similar to that. And you can outfit those things as you see fit. We're just going to go default with what happened there. But if you really want to min-max and playing on challenging and trying to get your S+ score out of playing, you may want to outfit yourself a little differently. But we're going to jump in for the sake of time.
So these are score kind of based things where you can like not compete with friends directly, but it's like is there a leaderboard system, or is it more just like get the high score and that's, you know, a personal high score, or is there like a leaderboard system?
It's not a leaderboard per individual. It's basically on the whoever's hosting will maintain the highest score they've ever gotten on that particular mission. And so the highest score you can get in the game is S+ tier. S+ tier. It's not your standard grading. It's esports inspired. And things like how many times are you defeated? How many monsters do you defeat? How much gold do you collect? All of those things add into this algorithm that gives you the score. And so if we can make it through one, we'll see what happens here. But it will be stored for me, since I'm hosting, it'll be stored for me based on that score for this mission. And then you can come back and try and beat it. Difficulty also does factor in. So hopefully we can get a high score here on challenging.
Amazing.
You want to set this up, Alan, a little bit?
Yeah, so on this mission, well, actually, the first thing we get is there's a cool feature in Sunderfolk that lets you name things in the game. And so some of us have gotten a prompt, like I have gotten one of them. Which,
you guys are naming. I'll read the overview that was fed to me, which is something we do in Sunderfolk, which is a little bit like you would experience in a TTRPG, where sometimes you just get a message, a little bit of information that your character knows. So it says, to me, the beetle is eager for the snacks it detected in this cavern and willing to take direction to get them. A hero can interact with him to choose which direction to turn him. So this is just a prompt for me, but they got way cooler prompts, which maybe each of them can talk about.
Yeah, so like I got the ability to name the treats that are around the map that we need to help the beetle get. And I don't know, a good treat, I'm going to name it chocolate.
Amazing. And I have the option to name the actual beetle himself. So because we've all agreed that he is a very mysterious little guy, he's just called Beetle of Mystery because he's mysterious like that. And we can work on his lore at another time.
All right.
So
yeah, and one of the things that... Oh, go ahead, Alan.
I was just going to say, all throughout the campaign, it's very similar where you're able to name things in the game, and then those names actually carry through for the duration of the entire campaign. And so when you name something early on, later on, you'll actually find that thing come up again. And depending on your group, it might be something goofy, it might be something funny, it might be something offensive, depending on how your party plays.
Yeah, and one of the things I was just going to call out here, Lauren, if you remember when we did our test a little earlier, so the location of the treats is randomized. And so you can see that we're going to have a slightly different experience coming in again, obviously with the characters, etc. But so the puzzle changes. So we can interact with the beetle on our turns, and we can get started however we see fit. One of the other things for players who are seeing Sunderfolk for the first time that's a little different than other tactics or RPG games, at least that you may be used to, is there is no initiative. Part of this is collaboratively coming up with what's the best tactics move for us to use on each turn. So whoever wants to start can start. They just have to slide a card in and go. But this might be a good point. I don't know if there's any questions you want to ask or anything before we take our first turns, or what do you think?
So there are a couple in the chat. One says that this looks like D&D plus Jackbox. How similar is it to the D&D rule set, and how have they been simplified to work on phone controls?
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely very inspired by Jackbox. Early on, when we were coming up with the vision for this, we loved the ability to just get in front of a TV and play, pull out your phones and do that. Jackbox is something we've played a lot of and love the guys there and the games that they've created. It is a bit different than D&D. Things that you would expect if you're very trained exclusively on D&D, things like initiative, it's different. There isn't opportunity attacks, for example. When you move a character away from another character, you won't get an attack of opportunity. But other than that, there's probably a lot of similarities. I think a lot of that will show as we play here. What you can do, I think the biggest difference here is in D&D, it's always the same. You can move X amount, unless your DM is putting restrictions on you or benefits on you. You can move. You have a set movement. You have a particular attack that you'll use, and that's always consistent. In this, we're picking cards on our character that you actually outfit before you go into a mission, and those things give you what you can do based on how much movement or what attacks you can have. Some cards don't even have attacks on them. So we'll play a little bit, and you can see that, and that may answer that question a little better.
Okay, so our goal here is to get the Beetle of Mystery around to these different little chocolate treats, and you can see them all around the map here with the little star above them, and it says chocolate. And the beetle is in between us all there, that yellowish beetle. And one of the things we can do is we can interact with the beetle to influence where the beetle will go. So when we interact with the beetle, we can actually choose the direction that it faces and also the fact that it can move. Meanwhile, we've got a bunch of monsters on the board that are going to try to stop us. And so we have to deal with them as well. And then finally, there are these colored little hexes around that have these strange shapes on them. These are teleporters. So we can also teleport around the map as well, including the beetle. So the green one goes to the green one, the purple one goes to the purple one. So now it is our turn. We can choose whoever wants to go first.
So I think I have a pretty good opening, which is I think I'm just going to throw out there, if we could get the beetle to pick up the chocolate on the right and get away from that really scary monster on the right.
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful. So I'm kind of thinking go get that first and then try and clear the beetle out. So I have a move that can throw a friend or enemy, and I'm thinking I fling the beetle over towards the chocolate on the right-hand side.
Makes sense to me.
Is everybody okay with that? All right, here we go. So I'm going to lock in, and you can see here for the person that asked about abilities, so this card has a move 2, then a throw 2, then a move 2. So I have to play those in order. I can skip, but I can't jump around. I have to play from top to bottom. So I'm going to have a move 2. I think since I can... Oh, no. I will move here. Sorry. Hopefully that's okay, Arcanist. I'm going to skip this move and then throw him. Oops. Yeah, sorry. Skip my move. And then I'm going to grab him. Throw him in line. And then I'll tap him with the next move. And turn ally. Uh-oh. Oh, I can turn him any direction. That's right. That's right. I'm used to... Sorry, I'm so used to the beetle from Beetle Rustlers. And then I'm going to move him too.
There you go.
All right. So he's getting close. And I'm going to step over here to just hopefully... I don't know. Maybe he can push me forward or something to help me... protect this beetle from getting owned by that monster in the right.
Oh, so I have a couple of... I'm largely attack-based by the looks of it. So I've got a couple of different attacks that I can use. One of them does target random monsters, and some of them are a little bit more targeted. So if we wanted, I've obviously got 2 monsters sitting to my left, some people's right maybe, but my left. So I could go and start clearing them out, or I could potentially try and get a little bit closer to the big one and start hitting at that. But I think that given that a lot of the chocolates are on my side, it might be worth trying to clear out some of that debris almost that's on that
Sounds
side.
good.
Cool.
Okay. While you take that move, that sounds great. While you take that move, I see two really good questions here that maybe we can answer both. I'll take the first one, which is from Slingles here about are there plans to make a web version to join instead of an app? And at this time, no, there is not plans for that. But we have gotten a lot of feedback about, do I always have to use my phone, especially when I'm playing on PC? Why do I have to pull out a phone to play on my PC? And that's been a big piece of feedback for PC players. And so we actually are starting to work on controls for that now, and are hard at work on that for a future release that we'll be talking about later this month. We're very excited about that work. It is trying to allow people to play the way they want to play and not just controlling using your phone. And so more to come on that.
With regards to the second question of like why you made this game, it actually ties into the like why do you need to use a phone? Goes back to what Chris was saying, where we just love getting together and having that social experience of playing board games and tabletop RPGs. But we obviously have a background in video games, and we think we can also maybe make it more accessible and kind of streamline the experience by making the game handle all the rules, the setup, all that stuff that just takes forever in traditional kind of tabletop and board games and role-playing games. And so this idea, and going back to that whole question of like D&D plus Jackbox, that was basically our original like pitch was practically like D&D Jackbox, trying to recreate that social experience you get getting together with your friends, but making it a lot more streamlined where the DM is the video game and the TV is the map.
Yeah, and just to add a little color there, well, Alan takes his turn, so figure out what you're going to do. There are these people in our lives that we really want to share, or at least for me, in my life, that I really want to share things like really deep board games or games like Dungeons & Dragons, but they can feel intimidating to people. You have to read thick manuals, you have to deal with a lot of rules learning ahead of time, etc. And one of the things we're trying to do is remove that, and not only help those people see it as being more accessible, but also help ourselves see a way or provide a tool to those of us that want to do this to bring in family members or friends that may balk at doing it under normal circumstances. So that is definitely a big part of the influence for us. And my favorite thing is reading reviews from people who have played the experience and they brought along a child, a sibling, a parent that may not have never gamed before, and they talk about, oh my gosh, I'm playing a game with my dad who never was into video games before, but this has struck a chord with them, and that's been a big inspiration for our studio.
So I guess one of the things that's quite interesting for people who maybe haven't played the game, can you explain what the fate card system is as that's popping up? These little diamonds that you're seeing are adding kind of modifiers to what we're doing here.
Yeah, I will answer, or Alan, you can answer that while I go in here. Sure. I'm not even going to talk about my turn because I want you to be able to answer questions and me not chat through.
So there's a couple different cards. There's your ability cards that you pick what you want to do on your action that has, movement and attack and other special effects. But when you attack, there's this additional type of card called the fate card. And you can think of it almost like rolling a die, or in a game where there's cards, drawing a card that kind of determines the outcome of that attack. And so at the base level, it will just either increase or decrease the amount of damage you do. But where it gets really interesting is they can also have these different types of effects that can happen as well. And you can also, both of these decks, as you go through the campaign, you can really tailor them towards however you want to play. You can make these different builds where you kind of synergize amongst either the other players in the game or amongst just yourself to kind of really min-max some particular strategy. And so on the fate cards, you could actually, it might do like less damage, it might even be a negative damage, but it has a huge benefit of some secondary effect that really helps you. And so based on how you want to play, you can kind of figure out how you want to configure your fate deck.
Amazing.
I may have
Thank you
just
for
screwed us, you guys. I'm so sorry. I sent the beetle through a teleporter, and it's on the left side of the screen. And I'm sorry, Alan. I was hoping to do something better, but I have failed our party. That's
There's a
okay.
chocolate over there.
I'm going to skip my attack because I'm also not next to a monster. So please don't call me out, chat, on how poor that turn was.
To be
It's not
fair,
my fault.
I have taken some massive damage, but I can go and try and attempt
Oh
to
yeah,
clear
what are you
out.
doing at 2
Oh my
health?
gosh,
Okay.
you got
We gotta
pincushion.
look
Yeah,
at-
we need
Let me
Arcanists
see.
help us or get it. Yeah, I'd say get out of dodge, Lauren.
Yeah.
You're in trouble here.
Cool. Then I am going to I'll have a little look see what I can do here. So I have a couple things with leap in them, which is pretty cool. So I might do that. So that I can dodge. I did not read that fully. It's fine. Things happen. So I'm going to start. Actually, do you know what? So that
Getting some. That's a teleporter up there, so you can get out of dodge too with that teleporter up above and pick up a fire if you
Cool.
want. Oh, you're creating fire right now. I see. You're
Yeah.
not even on the leap. Okay, got it. So you can
Yeah,
place fires wherever you think is good.
Yep. Things are slightly slower on my end files.
Somebody asked the question about what are some of our favorite board games. Oh my gosh, that is a super difficult question. How do you answer that? I have a lot. We've played a lot. Our game group, which Alan and I play in a shared game group, we have played a lot of board games over the years. And for me, board games have become I want to get people into the hobby so badly. So I have this stack ranking of most accessible games so I can get somebody in the hobby. I start usually with Love Letter, which is a game that I think is great, but it's very accessible. You can start playing very quickly. But I also love really deep games. One of the games that's been around for a very long time that we've gone back to so many times is Lords of Waterdeep. It's an old school D&D, a worker placement game that I love a lot. Splendor is another excellent game that I love, but most recent and then inspired by this are tactical RPG games out there that games like Descent, games like Mice and Mystics, things like that are games that I enjoy.
Okay.
All right, so you have to
I'm
end your
trying to
turn.
figure out how to save Lauren here because I have a feeling this other guy
Yeah, the
right
9 is going to
here
attack her. She'll
is
go
going
down.
to go
this
and
turn.
attack her. So
Yeah.
I can teleport her away. I can also shield her. But then we also got our little beetle of mystery over there who's about to get beat up as well. So
If we could do damage to them, but there's no way unless
I
you could go
can
through,
actually
go through the teleporter.
I could. No, I don't have enough movement. You would have to throw me, but then
I'm done this turn.
oh, you are done. Okay, I think I'm going to save Lauren, and Beetle's just going to
Thank
tank some
you.
damage. How about that?
Okay,
I
seems
accept
good.
this, but I'm also happy to die for the beetle because I love him. So
The
it's okay.
question
I
is-
will be the sacrifice if need be.
How do I save Lauren? Let's teleport you away.
That works for me.
Actually, yeah, Lauren, you have to end your turn. I'm sorry.
Nubeek, talk Dune Imperium. I've been playing so much Dune Imperium. I've been playing it. I first played it on cardboard, and now I've played tons of it just digitally on my iPad. And I have it's an obsessive problem where I would wake up and play 2 or 3 games or go really to bed too late because I've been playing just against AI too. So awesome call out there. I love Dune Imperium.
Thank you so much. You're my savior.
Yeah, let's see how badly our beetle gets beat up.
Oh yeah, we are not setting a good example for developers playing their own game
Right off
here.
the bat.
Oh,
There
great.
we go.
Minus
Okay,
2
we're
there.
okay. We're okay. We gotta go
All right.
save.
Okay, well, good job saving our... I'm a little worried about the... Yeah, mold up in the corner. Oh, I'm there to tank it. Good. The tank is tanking. Who knew?
I can also
Okay.
tank if need be. I got part. That's what I'm
Oh.
doing. We see the tank strat in the chat.
Oh, we are in such trouble there.
Oh wow, we have So, oh, that just happened. But the
Okay.
yeah, those exclamation points that appeared are basically wandering monsters adding to the mission, which makes it harder. Well, we have 8 rounds. That is not our problem. Our problem
No.
is surviving.
So, Chris,
Period. Right now.
you can
Yeah.
get. I mean, the guy is on top of the teleporter, but you could
Yeah.
teleport over there and
Yeah.
just tank everything. I don't know, kill all those
Yeah,
guys.
I could do that. I think the challenge here is I want to just whirlwind those 3 dudes. And
Which
the
they do.
guy being on, I just don't have enough movement. I could use my ultimate. So ultimates just came online.
Yep.
So I could use my ult. That would kill them. And if how would I do it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that would kill him.
I
Okay.
can teleport you. Wait, the guy's on the left?
Yeah, guys on the left.
How are you
So
going to get over there? Oh, because you have
I'll
movement
push-
for it. Okay.
I'll move 3, so I guess we could show this feature. The other thing we have, so this is useful, so you can bring up your pointer if you are playing the game in front of a couch or whatever and you want to show what you mean. But so if I move here, I have a move 3, move 1, push this guy 2, then step in your 3, I'll be standing on that, and if I AoE, I will kill both of those guys with my, if you guys are cool with me using the
Yeah, go for it.
ult.
Do it.
Yeah, great.
Okay, let's try it. All right, here we go. I'm going to do the roar ult. Here we go. Push this guy back. And then move on here. It does leave the... does leave our poor... All right, and here's our roar. Let's do it.
Come back and tank for the pyro.
I
Or
need
pyro
to-
can run.
maybe
I just
need to
run
run.
around. That's my job here.
So there is a
Wow.
there is a shrine on the left there,
we go.
that like cat-looking
go.
shrine.
All right,
that
there's
will
the
heal you.
ultimate on the Berserker here.
Nice.
All
There
right,
we
so
go. We're back in
Beetle
it.
is free, but I wish I had movement here, so I can't. But okay, I'm gonna end my turn there. I could swap with a only range 2. Okay, all right, ending my turn.
Okay. I'm
What do
trying
you
to
want to do, Lauren?
not die.
So you also have trinkets. Look at your trinkets and see if you have anything that does healing.
Let me see.
The 2 circles
I'm going
on
to
the
jump
bottom
into
left
that to the question that was just asked by XCB about do we have more coming? While we're not announcing the specifics today, we are hard at work on a future update that we'll talk a little bit more about later this month, actually. So there is more to come. Definitely stay tuned. The one thing we talked about a little bit earlier is the control. The PC controls is something, basically mouse and keyboard controls is something the PC audience has been talking about, and that's big on our radar, and we have begun work on that. And so more to say about that, but from a content perspective, there's more to talk about as well, and we'll be talking about that later on this month.
So I unfortunately don't have anything that does healing, but I do have things that basically do a bit more damage because I am a little bit lower. So it's up to yourselves. I can either head towards the shrine, which is obviously on the other side of the map, or to try and heal up a bit so you don't need to worry about me, or I can try and just do damage.
I think you getting healed is pretty critical.
I think
but
move towards the left. Maybe you can even pick up the fire, and between you and me, we could take out this 9.
Well, if she steps through the teleporter, she's literally standing.
Oh, you're
adjacent
right.
To
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
adjacent to the healer. So
That's
I think
way
that's
better.
a
Nice.
pretty
Oh,
strong-
true. Cool. And then I could potentially, depending on how much it heals by, I could maybe try and do some damage to that 9, and we can see
Yeah.
what happens with it.
Yeah,
Cool,
if you
okay.
can take the 9 down, Alan, if she doesn't drop it, then you mitigate that damage entirely. Should be
Nice.
great.
What I'll maybe do then is I will use my lady's bag to activate my trinket if it wants to let me do it. I can't do
First
this.
you
You're
have to
probably in
pick,
Yeah, I
pick
need
the
to do
card you
that.
want to do, and then you can do your trinket. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So let me get. Am I on the teleporter? 'Cause
The
I'm a little
only
bit
the
low.
only thing before you do that is you'll be a line attack. Let's see, 1. Oh, okay. I see how you can do it. Yeah, you can still do that and still use the thing. Yeah, go for it. Sorry, I was worried you wouldn't be able to line up your line.
You're
but
okay.
That doesn't make sense. Line up your line.
I know.
Yeah,
Cool. And then, am I better going directly in front of the shrine, or am I better staying where I am and using the shrine?
Either way is fine, but you will have to move to the left of that monster if you want to attack him, because it's a line attack, like Chris was saying, and so you need to.
Cool.
By the way, to answer, there's been a couple
asked
questions
the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to let you, go ahead. You can answer that.
I was just going to say, Gloomhaven
Oh.
absolutely was an influence for us. We played a lot of it, and games in that same vein. There's a lot of these like tactical turn-based dungeon crawler kind of board games that we loved, and so absolutely, Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, we're huge fans, and a lot of people on the team have played a lot.
Yeah, one of the biggest differences between Sunderfolk and the Haven games is they use a system that's really super ingenious. It's one of the most, when I first played it, it like knocked me on the floor with how interesting it was. The health, and if you haven't played Gloomhaven or Frosthaven, yes, you have health, but that's not actually the timer in the game. Instead, you've got a set of cards that are based on the class you're playing. Sometimes it's 8 cards, sometimes it's as many as 12. But you have to select from those cards 2 cards every turn. And after you've used all of those, you have to permanently get rid of 1. And there's some other ways your cards get rid of. But basically, your set of cards is your life. And it's a really, really genius timer to end the game. And so it's functionally very different than what we have here because of that. That is the main mechanical difference. Where there's similarities is they do have the equivalent of a draw deck that you manipulate over time, the equivalent of rolling your die, and we have a fate deck. And the fate deck is we manipulate, and there's differences between the two things, but there's a similarity there. The other thing is you do have initiative in Gloomhaven and the Haven games that come from the cards you play. And I have shown a lot of people Gloomhaven, and it is very challenging for a new player to grok those things going on. But if you are a very experienced board gamer, it's such a genius set of things that all have to work together. People call it the Euro version of an RPG game, and they are both genius in the way that they do those things. So we've purposefully chosen not to be as complicated as that, to make it more accessible to people coming into this wonderful hobby for the first time. But we look at it ourselves kind of in a way as like a bridge into like, go play Sunderfolk, and then you'll probably be excited enough about tactical RPG games to move into something like Gloomhaven or Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there was a
dude just spawned in right next to you.
Oh, okay. And oh my gosh, we got to get Beetle of Mystery onto chocolates, and I
think you could toss him.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you throw him?
I totally could. I need to throw him first and then move him. Okay, that works. And I'll just tank this guy's damage because otherwise I won't be able to do it.
Shield.
I like your gumption on my behalf. Okay.
We believe in each other on this team.
You're a big bear.
Yeah, I know. Let's see here. So I don't want to move him yet because I don't think there's any advantage to that. I could move him twice though, right? Yeah, I can. Let's just try this. This is probably worthless, but I'm just going to turn him this way and then also have him move forward there.
Just giving him all our gold.
Only move to there. Then I will...
Rich?
Should I? This is probably not the right way to do it.
No. Then you won't be able to... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. He'll still be on it. And then I could teleport him to the other one, actually.
Same difference. Yeah, okay. Same difference. Now I could I throw that guy somewhere?
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Fire or something? Or
no, I'll do a little damage. Oh, yeah, and then I could get out of dodge, actually. Oh, no, he's going to get pin cushioned. That's okay. We'll just give him a little bit of damage there, and I'll move back. Oh, shoot, I can move him again.
Nice.
Okay, we'll go do this. Yeah, I'll just move him 2 more closer to you. I'm not going to turn him or keep him the same direction. And then move him forward. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
There it is. Can I do anything? No. Sorry, just checking. I have this star woven. I have a trinket that could be interesting, but I'm just gonna tank damage.
Awesome. So,
Okay. Go ahead.
yeah. So obviously I don't want to create more fire because the fire is a bit close to where the beetle needs to go.
It's good for you.
It's good for me. So I guess I could collect a couple of them as I go. There's that option, and I could try and go towards the 9 down at the bottom right, and that gives the beetle a slightly clearer path. Or alternatively, I could go and try and deal with the 20 and the 9, but I'm scared of those. So
Yeah, I mean, just to add to you so you know the options, I can teleport the beetle onto that chocolate, or I can just move the beetle as well by interacting with them.
Mhm.
Or I could also help out with the 9 down there. So whatever you think you want to do, I'll fill in the gap.
So I think if we can teleport the beetle, that might be the better play. And I can just try and do some damage to this 9, if you're good with that.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So what I'll do then is
While you're taking that turn, I'm gonna just quickly answer. Slingle's asked this actually a while back, so just to answer Slingle's question about how replayable board. Many tabletop games are highly replayable. There are also a lot of board games that are campaign based these days. They call them legacy games that change over time, and then that replayability is about how you customize the game through, but they've become kind of a sensation over the last 5 to 10 years, are these legacy-based games. When you talk about, like, it's such a broad category, but the replayability of a lot of board games come from the random elements that will be introduced every time you play it. Sunderfolk is less replayable than something like I'm trying to even think of a good example. A really purely random game like poker, even just to say that how different it is, because your characters level up in a very particular way. But some of the ways we've tried to introduce some of that replayability and randomness, for example, is this encounter that we're playing, where the beetle needs to go is randomized across the map. And of course, what you have as you get to these missions normally is also the choices you've made along the way change what you'll be able to do within them. So randomization is something that makes many board games very highly replayable, and some not. It just depends on the genre and type of board game you're referring to.
I think there's 2 other things that allow for replayability in Sunderfolk. Is one, through the campaign, you won't actually play every single mission the way that the campaign plays out. You make some choices at a certain point, and so there's some missions that you don't play. So you could always go back and replay again to actually play those missions. The other one is we have more heroes than you can actually play in one playthrough, and so the same way that Lauren said she's played Bard through her campaign and now she's trying out a new hero, that also introduces a lot of replayability. And then finally, with this 1.5 patch with one-shot mode, it allows for a mode that you actually can go in and play these missions over and over again and keep going after that highest score. So you can kind of try to do different combinations, different equipment, and get a higher score with your friends.
There was also a comment here about craziest, most broken builds that you can get. There definitely are. One of my favorites on the Ranger, which I'm not playing in this particular, but I play a lot of Ranger, is a strength build. I mean, it's not like a clever thing, but there is a build on Ranger where you get a bunch of strength items. You get all of your fate cards to use strength. And one of the later abilities you get can stun if you have strength active, and it's pretty freaking OP in my mind, and can shut down a lot of encounters. Not shut them down, but make it easier to get through them than they normally would if you've got a ranger on your staff in your group that has that basically stun locking capability that's there.
I'm trying to think now, if I teleport this guy onto the chocolate, he's then just going to run into this fire and take damage. But he does have 2 shields, so maybe I'll do that anyways.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
I envy you, Arcanist. All I can do is just throw them. I can't just put them wherever I want.
So I guess one of the
Okay,
questions
that-
on my end specifically, just
Yeah.
generally, is I think that
Yeah.
we've chatted like a lot about how this feels like a tabletop game, but I think one of the things that I loved about this game when I played it the first time round, I really don't want to die. Okay, cool, it's fine. I got
You're
really
good. You're
frightened.
good.
Thank you. I needed the.
Oh
Oh,
no!
this is not
Oh
good.
no!
Okay, I'm not
He
fine.
jumped so far
Why
forward.
did you lie to me?
Okay.
I'm not fine.
I thought you were fine. I thought you were fine until he leapt 3 forward. All right, you know what? One knockdown's not that bad. We're okay.
I guess we
Got
should explain
this.
that. So at the top right, there's these hearts up there that indicate how many times we can be knocked down. We can only be knocked down these 2 hearts, so we've already lost one of them.
Yeah, one more
If
knockdown.
we get knocked down
and
again, we're
GG.
basically going to lose.
Yeah, and
Okay,
it's
I will
really
return
hard to
with my
get
question
beetle-
when we've like strategized, because now we actually
I-
need to strategize.
Yeah, so sorry. I want to hear your question. So let's pause for a moment. Ask it.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's one of those that I think when I played this through, one of the things I loved was the fact that your narrator, obviously Anjali, is so perfect and so kind of playful. Obviously, we don't hear her here, but if you've not played the game before, I think that as much as I love what Amelia Tyler does in Baldur's Gate, the fact that it feels like, you know, Anjali's putting on these like funny accents, you know, she's doing the big deep voice and then the little squeaky voice. I think it's really fantastic. So why did you kind of go for the more playful approach to it? Because it feels like a lot of tabletop games are really serious and very, you know, big RPG gritty feeling stories. Why did you go for that, you know, type of narration versus like say Amelia Tyler in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, honestly, that is a brainchild of Erin Merrick, who's the game director of Sunderfolk, and she was going to be here today. She's under the weather, so she was unable to make it today. But she said, "What if we made it like a DM?" And I just immediately was like, "Oh, that's a brilliant idea." I think part of this, when we step back and look at what we were trying to do as a studio and being inspired by this idea of creating togetherness for others, trying to normalize these experiences that are so connective was at the heart of it. So one, we wanted to make sure we weren't too dark. A lot of RPG games are really dark, but we wanted a family to be able to play together. We also didn't want to kidify it too much. It's not, there are serious stakes that the characters are up against and that the story takes on. So we kind of walked this middle ground. There's some tough things that happen in the story, but it is with a lighter tone here and there. And Anjali was just so wonderful. She was somebody that we were connected to from friends that we have at that are part of Critical Role and their team. And she was immediately got it. She's been a DM or GM her whole life, or for a long time. She's been involved in the community, but doing it behind the scenes, and she just got it right away. And so, yes, when you listen through, it is unaltered her voice. Like, she does all the voices in the moment, and some people would say, why didn't you hire a bunch? That was what we were going to do. But we felt like we wanted to normalize the concept of the GM, and that was a very conscious choice that we made.
Yeah, it's probably like there's a lot of things I love about the game, but that is probably my favorite thing about it is her performance is just absolutely perfect from like start to finish. And having watched Critical Role and things, and obviously knowing her from like Symmetra and Overwatch and like those type of things, it's super cool to see. She just has so much fun, and you have fun with
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah.
yeah, I do love the design of it. I really love the design of it.
And I think that
That's
also
awesome.
ties,
She was
speaking
so
to that
cool.
whole like in-person D&D kind of experience when you're playing with a real DM, oftentimes it is kind of a little bit lighthearted, right? Like the DM is doing these different voices for characters and whatnot, and even you as friends getting together, there's just a lot of this social experience you're having together. And so even in going into the voice acting and the way that she portrays all these characters, we kind of want to get that vibe, you know?
Yeah, and I think it definitely comes across like it is just perfect. Like I say, I love what Amelia does on Baldur's Gate. It is so well done, but I just love how playful it is, and how playful the game feels. To be fair, as an entity.
So I think I can win the
we're-
game right now.
What?
Okay.
How?
Okay.
Tell me how.
Through the magic of arcane power.
Okay.
I can just teleport the beetle onto the last chocolate down there.
See, this is where I get really, as a berserker, I get really jealous of the Arcanist. It's kind of BS if you ask me. I think it's baloney. I'm gonna go back and have a few words at the tavern and complain about how the Arcanist has an easy life. Baloney.
If I teleport right here, I think I'm in range of the beetle and this thing, and then we're good, right?
Yeah, we're good, Alan. We're good.
I could also just pretend like you guys should
something?
struggle through it, and I won't.
Yeah, no, it's fine, dude. Come on, checkmate it. Let's go. We might even have 5 minutes to show a little bit of one other mission.
But also through the power of friendship, chat. Also through the power of friendship.
It is through the power of friendship. It is the Arcanist friendship.
Oh, yeah, it's totally friendly here. I feel really friendly about Alan sort of kind of carrying the team to victory here.
Look at your chocolate.
I respect it. I needed the carry, so I respect it.
Okay. we needed the carry, to be honest. It was fine. It was the right answer. How do we do? How do we do? What did we get? B+. Oh, what the heck? Oh, we're 2 tiers low. Well, we did have a death. We also did not really spend any time getting any gold or anything. Yeah. So that hurts it. We really kind of didn't kill a lot of monsters. We really mostly, so, well, this is just a new target. We got to come back and we got to see if we can crush it in the future. With that, we can bump out and just quickly load another one if we wanted to, but I really quickly wanted to. There was a comment from, I'm going back up in chat here. Slingles just said, love to see some random missions and changing effects. Stay tuned. There is cool stuff underway right now that we're going to be talking more about later this month and into next month. So stay tuned. Fun things are coming. All right, with that, I'm going to victory it and clear out, and real quick we come back here. So we could drop back again and pick characters if we want to, but I think in the interest of time, we'll keep our characters and we can go to Proving Ground. So you can see here now that we have a B+ on Stack Run. That's coming from my system, which knows how far we've gotten. And so we're going to go here to Proving Ground and go to Gear. Arcanist, you have to ready up. It's very typical that the player who carried the last mission takes their sweet time because they're kind of getting a little bit of a prima donna kind of feel to the. I'm just joking. Okay, so we'll enter the mission. Same thing here, though. This mission is a level 15 mission, so that you're even outfitted with more gear, and we could customize these things. But in the interest of time, that's stuff you can do if you play when you play 1.5. But we're just going to get straight into it.
So I guess one of the things that I wanted to ask, obviously, is that you guys, obviously, with Mike at the helm as well, you guys have worked on a lot of Blizzard titles, obviously Warcraft 3, Heroes of the Storm. One of you plays drums in a band or something, I've heard, or at least used to. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
That was a long time ago.
But what were kind of the learnings that you took from things like Heroes of the Storm, like Warcraft 3, to bring to this game as well?
I mean, a ton. All those games basically developed our entire basis in game development. But they're like in Heroes specifically, and in War 3 for that matter, since they're very like War 3 has kind of the bones of that hero real-time combat that comes out of MOBAs, but the different abilities and the way that the different heroes kind of synergize with each other, I think, is huge. The class roles that you have and how you work with your friends to overcome some conflict. I will say one thing that is different from what we've also done is a lot of the games Chris and I worked on are very heavily competition based, like they're competitive games. Obviously Heroes, there's a 5v5 team based nature, but at its core it's just straight up competition. And so when we started on with this new studio, one of the things we did talk about was what kind of game do we want to make? And I think both of us were like, we'd love to try something a little bit different and not go so heavy into that competitive space. We'd done that a lot. We'd made even hardcore esports with StarCraft 2 and actually War 3 and Heroes. You know, they were all very much esports in their own regards. But in this game, we just wanted to make more of this cooperative social experience. You get together and just work with your friends to kind of overcome challenges. And so, but yeah, overall, the decades of experience at Blizzard absolutely influenced our game development, processes and what we thought about, both in a good way on things that we should do again, and then also in a way we learned, hey, you know what, maybe we don't do that particular thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I think Alan said all the good things or main things to say about that. I think it was fascinating because it was this pretty big step and journey for us to leave Blizzard after, I mean, I was there almost 24 years. Alan was there 25 years, and start something new. And yes, we're still, it's in our DNA. We were raised with particular values because of how Blizzard did stuff and all of that. But it's been very interesting also just how much the industry has changed, what's changed in the last 5 years. There's nothing that, there are things that we can have lessons from and look to and think back about, but there is so much change happening too that I feel like I'm constantly learning almost on a daily basis of how things are different too.
Well,
But
especially
yeah,
on this game, because
yeah,
there was such this entirely new paradigm in the way you play the game with this multi-screen kind of idea and using your phone and all that. And a lot of these things we couldn't even turn to. Obviously, there's a game like Jackbox, but Jackbox is just a different kind of style of game. So when it came to like the user experience and how things look and the way you interact, even the movement, this idea where you're literally dragging around on your phone as a trackpad, which maybe we didn't come across for people who haven't played the game. When we're actually moving or targeting, we're actually dragging our finger around on our phone as though it was almost like a trackpad on a laptop. And that's being reflected on this main screen game. Like that whole idea it didn't really exist. And so we went through a lot of iteration, a lot of thinking on what is the best movement. And we had several prior iterations before this. And ultimately this way we found that there's an initial like, wait, this is new, so I got to figure this out. But after like the first time you take that movement, you just start, it's clicks and you just start, feeling it out. And so.
Yeah, for sure. And as we get into this one, I'm happy to try and show that trackpad moment. I'll try and do it with the camera. It'll be a bit weird, but I'll do it and we'll make it work.
Yeah. So I just want to check on time. It's 10:55. Is there a hard stop at 11?
Not for myself. It depends on yourselves, really.
No, I don't have a hard stop, but I just want to make sure it's not like going to cut off or something. Since I haven't done this before, but
stream just cuts in a mid sentence.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, why don't you show that, Lauren? That'd be great. Why don't you take your turn and see? The question.
Robin is threatening to just close the Discord. Robin's threatening to close the Discord, but this is a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Got it. So Slingles asked the question about how did it help design the visibility of the characters? Recognizing silhouettes was always a big part of what was, since we worked on a lot of three-quarter perspective games like StarCraft 2 and War 3 and Heroes. Certainly it's a big part of it, but honestly, I think I was a lot less Alan and I using Blizzard experience to do it than the new team we founded and came up with it, and they were worrying about those things. The artists on our team focused on that quite a lot to make sure they were recognizably different, less so than it being a Blizzard particular influence. But I think even without knowing, without even thinking about it, you sort of instinctively are like, I can't really tell the difference. And that comes up, but we weren't going to some Blizzard playbook for that. It came a lot from the developers on the team who were the ones calling out those things that needed to be addressed.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll try this. This is going to be fun. So this is what we mean by this trackpad system. You're going to see some light, sorry. And as I thingy, you can see that the cursor moves on the screen. So I can move there, I don't want to do this on purpose, but yeah, there we go. So that's what we mean by that kind of trackpad system. It's very cool. Oh no, don't confirm the move, please. Please don't do that. So yeah, I picked up Flame Breath because I felt like we need to go and kill things. Especially that big 22 there. So I am gonna attempt to do some damage to him, and we'll see what happens. And I'll double check my trinkets as well. But
And
I'm
it's
not
also
sure.
worth calling out, in 1.5, we added these 4 different new missions. Each of them has kind of a different take. So one of them is more puzzly, the other one is more combat. This is actually a more combat-based encounter. And so really, you're just facing a bunch of different monsters that you have to get through.
Yeah, one of the things I was just noticing here is actually, so we can, as we move around in point, we can also move the map out, although right now I can't do it because she's mid-move, Lauren's mid-move, but 2 of the monster types that we need to defeat here, the Revenants, are not even on the map yet. So we have to defeat 5 skeletons, 4 molds, and 2 Revenants, and the Revenants haven't even arrived yet, but they are tough. So we are high level, but I'm curious if we would make it through this one. We won't know. You'll have to give it a shot yourself to see if you can make it through it. But we won't. We'll never know.
No. Bad noises. And do I want to use any of the trinkets? No, I'm not going to use those just now.
So this is a weapon, and the way weapons work in the game is there's a certain type of condition that if you meet it, you will activate, it will prepare your weapon. So in my case, my weapon energized whenever a monster within range 5 or further is attacked by another hero or ally. And so my weapon activated, I prepared it, and now I can actually, it's a way to actually take an action almost outside of your turn. And they do different kinds of things. In this case, I'm just going to do a little extra damage on this guy.
Okay, I'm gonna just draw. I think I'm gonna try it. I don't even know that I can. But I was just gonna drop the skeleton to just do some damage there. But maybe we just focus fire down this mold.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just provoke him to attack me and also get rid of some of his slimes. This is very dangerous, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna probably slide right into the fire. Oh God. Okay, that was fun.
Good damage.
That's actually, and it also helped me. And with that, I can. I'm gonna use my trinket to gain strength here. But here, I'm gonna use 2 trinkets here. So I'll activate. We have a firebug friend, so I'm gonna summon a firebug friend in here. This firebug friend I'll put here. Let's put him a little out of the way, and he'll shoot at people next round. I'm gonna skip the rest of my move, but I am going to use this strength token, trinket rather, and do it on myself. And then I'll attack this guy to do 9 damage. I'm glad I got raged. It actually makes me do a lot here. So maybe we drop this mold this round. Oh yeah, especially with that. 5 away. You're not 5 away from him.
Energize when a monster range 5 or farther from you is attacked by so the guy on the right was also attacked.
Oh, he was damaged by the he was damaged maybe by
your thing. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do a couple more points of damage. And then can I kill this guy? 4 points. Yes, I can do this.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna answer Slingle's question about how did we find the perfect amount of time to have players looking at their phones versus at the big screen and how much information to display where. That was the biggest undertaking. And we actually had this very specific moment that happened when a member of our team that joined, if I remember, in 2022, her name's Sasiba, she's our lead UX designer. And she came on board, and at that time, we were actually duplicating the hexes on the main screen on your phone as well. So players would constantly be looking up and looking down and looking up and looking down and having to kind of in their heads go, I think if I move 3 down this way and 3, and she smartly said, I think you guys are doing this wrong. And basically through a bunch of experimenting, was able to identify, we did as a team experimented with this. And, initially I was like, wait, but I want to know what's here on the map. But it is such a huge difference and change to allow you. It becomes second nature that you really don't look down at your phone that much when you're actively taking your turn. But you will look down at the phone to look up things. And one of the advantages of that is being able to see things like look up information on monsters and abilities and things that you're thinking about in your head while another person's taking their turn. So we always knew we wanted a good amount of information available on the phone, but we definitely had it very different for a long time as far as the control scheme went. And it took this pretty significant change almost in the middle of development. I think that was about 23 when we had that discovery and made that shift, and that really helped solidify what we think is the better user experience for players.
So I've been informed I've got a quarter past cut off, but we got a bit of time to still play the rest of the game. And to be honest, I think you've answered a bunch of questions as we've been going. So I'll probably round it out with just if there are any questions left, whack them in the chat just now. But we don't need to do a dedicated segment, I don't think, because you've answered so many questions as we've been going. To be honest with you.
All right. So now, what?
Cool.
You got. We both have. I have a weapon, so I could do this. I could swap a character if I activate my.
Yeah, I do as well, actually.
I don't think I want to do that right now, so I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to prepare my weapon. Although maybe. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be? Would you prefer to be on this side near to the fire? Because I could swap with you.
Me or?
Yeah, you, Lauren.
Yeah, that makes sense for me because
I'll just swap you right now then, and I'll swap with you. I could do it with monsters, but see, I'll swap you there.
Cool, that looks good.
And then I could try and whirlwind the guys below, but because of that slime, I think I might. No, I should have enough movement.
And I've got this as well. So I can probably do is move close to you so you guys get strengthened, and then I can move back and do some adjacent damage.
Wow, that's huge.
This is an awesome weapon.
Dude,
attack
this is
9.
OP.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Right break, dude.
But it's a melee attack, so you're going to have to be next to someone, just so you know.
Yeah, what I'm thinking...
take out that skeleton.
Yeah. What I was thinking is that I could effectively, just wrap round so that I'm next to yourself, Chris, and then...
Go for it. That sounds great.
I'll attempt to do that. So I can go here, I think?
Yep. One strength. Great. Thank you.
Nice. No worries. And then I will attack this guy.
Holy smokes, that is
a good one.
When an adjacent here defeats some. Okay, so it's only when a monster defeats, so that's its limit.
Nice. Okay, well, he's dead.
I'm gonna go whirlwind these guys, and although it won't drop them all, should be. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yep. Is there anything I can do to buff this? No, but still, pretty good. Take care of the bone pile, that elite skeleton.
Throw the bones in the fire.
Okay. I like. Oh
no. Okay, never mind.
So close.
I'll put him in range of our little bug ally. Oh, and I can swap with a character. Do you want to be up here, Alan, or anything? No. I'm just gonna... Oh, you haven't even gone yet. All right, Lauren, take us home.
Okay. So I have break again because clearly I'm just rolling really well. But I got a double break, so let's go. So I can do the exact same thing. To be fair, I could do that. It just gives you the strengthen again. And I can attack the spooky dude with 14, or I can start attacking the group over there with a 10 and a 20. What would your preference be?
I mean, I think if you attack the guy next to us and power yourself up as you were intending, you may drop him, whereas the others won't drop.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
that seems like a good move.
That sounds
To
good.
answer the question in the chat, yes, we absolutely had a paper step to this game where we actually created cards and had a little board, and early development was actually done during COVID, and so unfortunately we weren't in person with physical paper at certain points. We were doing it online using either like Roll20 or Tabletop Simulator. But then later on, there was some paper design as well before we finally got a prototype up and started playing digitally.
And then I will just attempt to kill him outright, hopefully.
Oh, no way. You guys have got to... But that's okay. I think it's still good. We've gotten him down. I remember the last one having 9 damage on it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
this
how
one
did
was
you
a
do
bit
9? It
lower.
was so high, but that wasn't what it was on the second one. So I'm not sure why it was so high. I forgot. I wasn't paying attention.
The only thing I could do is deal another 3 to him, but I don't really think it's going to do too much, to be honest. Yeah, do you know what? We might as well.
We're doing okay on health right now, too.
Exactly. I misread that. Nothing happened. You didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
Nope. I didn't misread it.
Ouch.
Is he? Oh, he's healing, and then
So he just absorbed all that slime to heal up.
Yeah,
He's fully healed.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, at least he missed. That was because of your blind, though, which was great. Uh-oh, gosh. Oh, missed, dude. Lucky. That was a lucky round right there for us. Okay. Very smart. That was a comedy of errors on behalf of that skeleton.
Oh, nice. He helped us. We have our ults.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I could do Starfall, which is an attack 7, and everything gets stunned and all kinds of other fun stuff.
I think that sounds pretty good. Well, we can. That's the exclamation point at the end of the stream here.
How do I do inflict confuse expose on a monster? Yeah, sure. Let's do this. Right here.
That's funny. Google Slides. I mean, it's not beyond us. We used a lot of Google Slides. I haven't seen us do it for pure paper playtesting yet, but
there you go. Robust ideas.
Yeah, giving us ideas here. You know what we have been doing too is Miro. If you're not familiar with Miro, it's actually really great, and we have been doing some paper prototyping in Miro. It's not perfect.
I did not read this properly. This is a ranged attack, and I just moved to where I was going to attack it, so I'm going to attack here instead. Sorry.
Yeah, sounds cute.
As long as we get to see you bring the stars down on them, that's what we want. Oh, Arcanist. The planets, the stars.
Amazing.
And they cannot be stunned.
I think just given the time, that's what I'll probably call it. But I do love that as like a nice little finisher to end things. That was absolutely amazing. Are there any questions in the chat, either Bark or Robin, that I've missed or that we maybe missed just during that last segment? I think we got them all though. Yeah, I think we got them all. Amazing. Well, thank you so much to both of you for taking your time. Sunderfolk is currently 40% off on Steam. The link's up there, so go check it out. Of all the games that I've released this year, it is like one of my underrated games of the year that you have to play, genuinely. So please do go and give it a look. Like, it is so much fun with friends, especially like as a board game night. Not to replace your board game nights for sure, but like add it into the roster and move things around. And yeah, just change it up because it is so much fun. So thank you again. Are there any closing words on you guys' end?
Well, I want to thank you, Lauren. Thanks for hosting us and doing this. It's so fun to share about the game, and everybody that came and joined us today. We're very appreciative of it. We really are trying to convert as many people over time into board gamers and TTRPG players, and Sunderfolk's your way in. So we hope you will join us in the Sunderfolk adventure as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was awesome.
No, thank you so much for taking time. Really appreciate it. And thank you to all the PRs that put this together as well, and all the moderators and all the team over there as well that have done all the moderating and all of that. I really appreciate everybody's combined effort here. But yeah, amazing. Thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. And yeah, look forward to some Sunderfolk content on PCGamesN really soon.
Thanks,
Thank you so
everybody.
much,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Ladies.
Thank you.